I'm Jason, the creator of Team Rocket Robotics, and what you're going to be watching tonight is the part where I assemble the 3D printed test frame and all the components of my combat robot Micro Flash Gamma. It's the new version of the guy sitting right up there in the corner. Now the 3D modeling of the plastic section of the robot is done. It was time to do a whole lot of 3D printing. And here we are. Base plate is done. I did a little bit of countersink drill work as well. The sides of the robot are somewhere in this box I got sitting off of the camera right here. Now it's time to go ahead and assemble all this test frame and test components and things and see if it all works together. It's not a crazy idea that by the time I'm done here I'll be able to drive something around. Now the purpose of this process is twofold. One is to make sure that everything fits as expected. I did a 3D modeling, but now it's time to go ahead and make sure my 3D models actually accurately reflect real life. Because real life has things like wiring to it. And being able to access stuff is actually very important in terms of being able to assemble the robot and reassemble it and repair it in a big hurry. Second of all, this is going to let me get an accurate weight on a lot of the miscellaneous components. Once again, wiring, bolts, nuts, and things like that, I really am not entirely sure exactly how much that stuff is going to weigh. This is going to give me a pretty good idea of that and be able to factor that into my weight calculation. So that's why I have my scale over here, as well as I've got a piece of paper I'm going to be taking weight notes on. So I'm not going to be working a whole lot in detail about the weight at the moment, but I'm going to be taking notes as I go along, how much different components weigh, and then I'll factor it all in when I get back to the next phase of design. Here's the sides of the motor, or the robot. I'm pretty sure these are going to go away. This design isn't particularly productive. This design doesn't really have, it's too heavy. Thank you, brain. This design is probably too heavy, but it's going to sit there for right now until I have something better to replace it. What do you know, they're right back here. A little tool bin sits behind my streaming setup, and that's right where they were. But I did find my bottle of glue that I lost. That was in my drone bag, so technically I didn't lose it. I just don't know where the hell I put it. The 2-inch bolt ends right there, right? Because they have little notches cut out in the top here. That was supposed to be spaces for where the nut would go in and secure the piece to the bottom, or secure the wall to the bottom. I clearly didn't measure things correctly, and this knot should have been another 1/4 inch down. Oops. I kind of assumed that I would be able to install the motor mount with the ESC in place. That's kind of important to my ability to replace the motor pods so they get ripped apart in combat. That way I don't got to take apart the whole side of the robot. Obviously that's not happening right now. I either take the side back off and I put it on first, or I hack stuff. I'm going to hack something here. Now this is of course just a test chassis, but you know, the important part is that all the electronics pretty well fit the way they're supposed to. Alright, well, let's call this done. Victory! That's what I was going to try to accomplish tonight, was at least get the test chassis up and running, and I certainly did. So, I'm happy with this performance. there's only a few very minor issues I need to address with the placement of the motor holes. But I'll wait until I have a better idea as to what the final chassis is going to actually be like before I reprint everything up. And of course I hacked some pieces off the side, but you know, let's bring Microflash back in here. So once again, I'm Jason, the creator of Team Rocket Robotics. Thank you guys all for watching. If you're watching me here on twitch.tv, go ahead and hit that follow button. It's one of the sides of the screen. I think it's this side of the screen. And that way you get the latest notifications of when I go live for robot building or miniature painting. And Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, UTC -4 until the crappy part of winter is done, i.e. it's back into racing season, is when I'm going to be getting back into Caledagia Live, a tabletop space combat miniatures game. And if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe, because the terminology on these two sites is completely different, and that way you get the latest updates for the Microflash Gamma build log as I get this guy ready for the next Motor City Massacre event, whenever that happens to be. So hopefully I got a few months left. Like I said, I got a lot of weapon design to do and some more problem solving, but I'm off to a good start. I'm liking where things are going, so thanks for watching and have a good night.